Just be ready, be professional, look good when you go out, get your equipment washed and ready to go, trucks and equipment. Um, I don't know, not everybody has a power washer, but everybody can put their trucks on a trailer and go to the car wash who has got a power washer and clean your equipment. Make sure it looks good and keep it looking good. Uh, take a little pride. Take a little pride in what you got going on and keeping that equipment clean. It goes a long way. More people see your truck, trailer, and equipment than any form of advertising you will ever do. And for you guys that say you don't do any, that's fine too. But you do ride around with your truck and trailer and your equipment on there. So keep it clean. If you look professional and you act professional, you'll get paid professionally. My God, some of you guys that I see on social media, you just got to take a little more pride in yourself and what you look like. And these aren't just, profile pictures. These are videos you guys are doing. You just need to clean yourself up a little bit. And I say that professionally. I don't care what length your hair is. I don't care what kind of beard you got. I don't care anything about what you do or tattoos, or I don't care about any of that. I'm just saying whatever you do and however you do it, just make it look professional. Today I started my lawn business this year. I love it, but I'm also learning so much. He said, I've sold myself short. I would have the business. However, I made very little profit after equipment maintenance and the whole 9 yards. My question is this: how do I bid better? I feel $75 an hour is fair for my area. Okay, so here's where the post is starting to go sideways. I feel $75 an hour is fair for my area. Well, first of all, the area doesn't matter, Austin. The area does not matter. What matters is, what are your costs per hour of operation? And I know we talk about it all the time, but hey, we're here to help. And that's the reality of it. So just to say, well, $75 an hour is fair for my area, there's a lot wrong with that. Who's it fair for? Is it fair for your customers? Is it fair for, who's it fair for? Mike, the answer is fair for who? It doesn't matter what you think's fair, and it really doesn't matter what the client thinks fair. It's not what's fair. That's what's wrong. That mindset is why you just are struggling and getting by. That's why the failure rate's so high for our industry, is because we try to think about what's fair for our area rather than what's it cost me to do the job and what return on investment do I want. He went on to say, I struggle with what to charge. I don't know why, but I do. Well, I can tell you why, because you don't know what you don't know, right, Daniel? I mean, that's just it.
Yeah.
He just doesn't know what he doesn't know. And the real question is, how do you fix it? And there's multiple ways of fixing it, But what you got to do is understand first that you're not making any money, which he seems to have an understanding on pretty well at this point. He realizes he's not making a profit, but now he says, hey, I'm trying to stay within a certain range to be fair in my market. And then he moves along to say in this same conversation, this post, right? And this is common, Daniel, for most everybody. He said, my work speaks for itself, and I always make the yard look the best I can. I've never heard anybody say I do crappy work.
Yeah.
Everybody always says, hey, I do great work. And you should think you do great work. I'm not calling that out. I'm saying, hey, your work speaks for itself. Your work is easy to speak for itself because you get the job done right. It's your pricing that needs to speak for yourself. And the only way to get that right is to understand. And yeah, we're talking about it again today, but it is because it's that time of the year. It's that time of the year when a lot of you guys are out bidding jobs. You're looking at yourself and saying, damn, I didn't do as well as I wanted to do last time around the sun. So what can I do different? But I still want to remain competitive. And there's a difference between remaining competitive, remaining fair, and the value of the service that you're offering. And it all starts with knowing what your costs are. And he's taking this, Daniel, here's something crazy. He's taking it from his customer's perspective. I know what it's like to barely make ends meet, so I tried to consider that for my customers.
What are you really saying there? I know what it's like to not make ends meet, so I want to not make ends meet in my business. So then what? What is the chain of events that occurs because of that? And then somebody else feels bad because you can't make ends meet within your business, so you don't have enough money to pay your bills. So then they feel bad, so then they don't charge enough, so then their business goes under, then they don't have enough to like what's the logical like I don't think people actually think about what they believe or what they say through. I don't think they think
Right.
it through or play it out.
Right. I agree 100%.
Oh, I think I need to be fair to my customers and only charge this amount. But also in the same line of thinking, I'm not making money. So why is that fair?
Yeah. What makes that fair?
Fair is both sides winning. Fair is equal, like equal weight on both sides. One side does not have an advantage over the other. In this case scenario, that's not fair because your customers who are you are undercharging have an advantage over you to where they're getting something and you're not getting something.
And you just think that you're being fair to them, helping them afford something
Yeah.
that you're offering, but it's below what
What
you need to have.
what you need to see is that you are allowing your customers to take advantage of you.
Right.
That's the
That,
only thing that's happening. It's not about that's not what fair is.
right. And, I think the biggest thing that goes back to that, and if you guys are just now tuning in, I want to read that one line out of his post again. And again, I'm not making fun of Austin. If you're one of our listeners, man, this is just professional help, is what it is. But, he says, I know what it's like to barely make ends meet. So I try to consider that for my customers as well.
Which is
You know,
perfectly fine as long as you have met your
your
the
break
break
even.
even point. Like if you want to go out and do it for, break even and just basically run a charity and be happy with your life and not lose the money and not you're not gaining much but you're not losing anything, then that's one route to go. That's a route,
Yeah.
but at least you're not losing. Then there's at least a tiny a percentage of fairness in that.
Right. He goes on to say, my pa, I assume his dad or his grandpa, one of the two, always told me to take care of others and they will take care of you.
Can't rely on other people to take care of you if you're not taking care of yourself.
Correct.
That's you can say, "Oh, I think people are good, but first I need to set up my thing in a good way and then I'm going to help people out because I have things set up to where I can do it and I'm going to help my employees out when I can. I'm going to help my customers out by giving them great advice and charging them, a price there where I can win and they can win. Like all those things are still true and even more true when you know what you should be charging and when you have to get out of that not the mindset of it's good to be a good person and think about others, but the mindset of I have to let other people take advantage of me in order to be a good person.
To be a good person. Fred makes that same point here. He said a lot of owners have major misconceptions of how their customers view them. Most likely, the mindset is made up of his head, not theirs.
If you in your mind and even in reality, let's just say your market truly will not support your business, why are you still in business?
That's right. Why are you doing what you're doing in the market you're trying to do it? It's the same reason you don't see certain things in certain markets. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, and what I mean by whether it's restaurants or whether it's car dealerships or whether it's whatever it is, fill in the blank. Let's think of
I
something
mean,
quickly.
Louisville has a Macy's. They don't have a Gucci store, right? They don't have a Lamborghini dealership. We don't have there's just not enough people to support that. But they don't come into town and say, you know what, I want to be in business so bad. I'm just going to make it work until I go out of business. If you feel like you need or want to do something helpful for your community or for people around you or whatever, do that and then go work for somebody else too. Like, okay, I'm going to spend my weekends cutting grass for free because I like to do it and I want to help people, right? But I'm not going to then go open up a business and do that for free or for,
Right.
whatever cost.
Go help the little old lady on Social Security.
Go help people on your free time, but then go earn what's actually fair living working for someone else.